My hair is progressively getting longer and crazier, very similar to the aliens guy, and it fits for what we're going to be talking about today. I have been waiting to do this lore video for Palia for quite some time. I've been putting it off a little bit because I'm always afraid they're going to add more lore to the game of like cryptids or with Eloisa and everything that she's got going on. But then I realized that the devs said that the game that we're playing right now is not going to be the exact same game we're playing years from now. So they're always going to add more lore. They're always going to change things up. And I was like, all right, might as well make the video that I've been wanting to make for quite some time. If you haven't guessed it from either the title, the thumbnail, or what I've already mentioned, aliens and Eloisa, we're going to be covering the cryptids of Palia. So let's go ahead and get into the video. One of my favorite things in Palia is the cryptid lore, especially with Eloisa and her going off about them. I made a list of the cryptids that we know so far in the game. In this list, I do compare some to what I believe their real life counterpart would be. If you're one of the very few that have no idea what cryptids are, there are actually some people that just they don't have a Scooby-Doo on what cryptids are. They even asked in the Discord, what are cryptids? So let me go ahead and explain that real quick before diving in. A cryptid is a creature often featured in stories, with some individuals believing in its existence or claiming to have seen it. However, there is no conclusive evidence to prove the existence of certain cryptids. For example, Bigfoot or Sasquatch is a large, hairy, human-like cryptid commonly associated with the Pacific Northwest of America. Other examples of cryptids are the Loch Ness Monster, the Chupacabra, Mothman, a personal favorite of mine. There's actually a video of me slapping the statue of Mothman's ass in West Virginia. It's literally the most viewed video I have on my personal Instagram, and I have no idea why. Now, the sightings of certain cryptids are passed down from generation to generation, and the lore always gets crazier and crazier. I mean, there could be an example of someone seeing a bear walking on two legs, and they told their kid, who told their kid, who told their kid. The next thing you know, Peepaw saw Bigfoot. That's usually how cryptids start. So that's kind of what happens with Eloisa in here. She does have a personal history in the game that makes her crave the hunt for a cryptid to catch one to prove that she was right about something that happened in the past, but we'll get to that in a second. But let's go ahead and continue on with our list. The first thing that I found is a Flothinger. Eloisa says a Flothinger is a creature whose existence revolves around one simple goal: inciting chaos among the local stink bug population. I unfortunately could not find a real life counterpart for this, but it is a very simple cryptid, so I feel like it deserved to be at the top of the list as we go down. The second Eloisa brings up is a Dawnstumblers. She didn't really go much into detail what a Dawnstumblers is. She just asked, hey, what cryptids have you heard about? And this was one of the options. But since this cryptid gave zero description but the name, I'm assuming it's a clumsy cryptid. The Dawnstumblers makes me feel like it trips a lot. So what I compare the Dawnstumblers to would be a squonk. And I shit you not, this is a real cryptid people believe in. You Google it. It's depressing, but so funny. The squonk is a very ugly cryptid, and it usually travels around twilight and dusk. It also, it doesn't seem like it fits in its skin. So because of this, it is covered with warts and moles. It's always unhappy. Hunters who are good at tracking could follow a squonk by its tear-stained trail. Because this cryptid weeps constantly. It is fucking sad. When being cornered and escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may even dissolve itself in tears. And another funny thing I found out about this is that it has one leg that's bigger than the other, and it has a really small leg. So if it ever goes swimming, it swims in a circle until it drowns. So that's some information that you now know today. The third on the list is the Floth Man. Once again, a personal favorite of mine, so I love you Singularity 6 for adding this into the lore. There isn't a description of the Floth Man. It was actually another one of the options that you could pick, saying this is a cryptid that you know, but this is definitely the Majiri version of the Mothman. I picture this creature as a giant moth, very similar to the Mothman that we have in West Virginia, but purple and oozing with flow. Now, if you don't know who the Mothman is, I can quickly explain. The Mothman is a legendary creature that gained notoriety in the 1960s due to a series of reported sightings in Point Pleasant area of West Virginia, USA. The creature is often described as a large winged humanoid with glowing red eyes. I feel like the Majiri version will have like glowing, like purple eyes, glowing like really beaming at you. Witnesses have also described it as having a wingspan and features resembling those of a moth or a butterfly. It is often viewed as the harbinger of destruction. Maybe the Floth Man was there during the cataclysmic event that killed the humans. He's the one that broke the veil and was like, hey, it's about to get real. We don't know. Hopefully they add more about the Floth Man. I would love that. That would make my day if Singularity 6 added more lore of the Floth Man. If we had a quest, if they dropped the Elderwoods and there was a quest, yes, we had the Beast of the Elderwoods. Yeah. But if they're like, you could do that, or you can go find the Floth Man, taking the Floth Man 9 times out of 10. The fourth on our list is Brighteyes. This one is what got Eloisa more into hunting for cryptids. This is what turned her pretty much into Dean from Supernatural. I wouldn't say Dean. She's a Garth. Eloisa's a Garth. If you haven't seen Supernatural, you need to watch Supernatural. But Brighteyes is a creature with empty glowing eyes that is said to live in abandoned remnants of human civilization. This can be compared to two things. How they match the Brightfiend, which is something that's connected to Brighteyes, but we'll get to that in a minute, sounds like something in the Fey realm. Brighteyes might be Fey, but with its description that's given, it does somewhat match a shadow person. Shadow people are often described in paranormal and supernatural contexts as dark, shadowy entities with scary features including glowing eyes. While not traditional cryptids, reports and stories about shadow people often include encounters in abandoned or desolate places. And also, in the lore, they bring them up 2 times. The ancient library that you open for Gina, they talk about shadowy creatures. They say, hey, there's shadowy creatures outside, close the fucking door. So they close the door and humans seem to fade away. And the second time is when Eloisa says her and her friend go hunting for cryptids in a cave or in a tomb. And during the situation, her friend was seemingly jumped by a Brighteyes and screamed and ran away. When Eloisa came out to talk to her about it outside the tomb, she seemed absolutely uninterested in cryptids anymore, saying this is stupid and she wants to go home, and didn't really talk to Eloisa since. So Eloisa believes that her friend was taken over by a Brightfiend, and a Brightfiend is a copy of a person who lives among us but not a real person. It's a spy sent from the Bright World, and the Bright World is where the Brighteyes come from, which sounds like the land of the Fae. I believe the real-life counterpart to this is a changeling. Now, changelings come from the world of Fae, and they usually take over when you're a wee bobby. They take you when you're young, trade the young with a young changeling, and the changeling grows up in your place. To go more into depth what a changeling is, it is a mythical creature or being from folklore, often associated with European mythology. In my case, it's Irish folklore. I know a lot about this, by the way, because I'm first generation American in my family. The concept of a changeling typically involves a supernatural being that is believed to be left in the place of a human child. In many stories, it is thought that the changeling is secretly substituted for the real child by fairies, elves, or other magical entities. So, honestly, Brighteyes is probably Fae, and the Brightfiend is the changeling. It connects, it works. And one thing that we've noticed about Palia is that they use a lot of real world situations or like just experiences or holidays, and they twist it and they turn it to match the Majiri lore. So the Brighteyes and the Brightfiend can easily come from the Fae. That could be their version of the Fae. The 5th on the list is Creepees. This one was a bit hard to connect, but I managed to do so. Creepees only nest in dark places and hate the light. This is what gives them their name. If one chases you, be sure to drop a fish you're carrying because they love fish. The only thing I could dig up to compare the Creepees are night crawlers. These cryptids are described as tall, thin, humanoid figures with no arms and a pair of long legs. Sightings have often occurred at night, leading to the association with nocturnal behavior. So it fits that the dark places and they hate light works just as well with night crawlers. I couldn't figure out if they liked fish or not. That one, that one's in the air. I don't know. 6th on our list is the Beast of the Elderwoods. Technically, this one really isn't a cryptid. It is confirmed in the game. Sifu and Hassian have gone against the Beast of the Elderwoods, and there is some other stuff going on there, but let me go ahead and give a brief description. The Beast of the Elderwoods is a creature that is made of flow. The way it is described in the game, it is a werewolf-like creature. We did a whole episode of lore on this. You can go dive back, check it out, but it's a werewolf. From what we believe on this channel and in the Discord is Sifu's wife Talon which is Hassian's mom, is the current Beast of the Elderwoods because she was attacked and bitten and turned into the beast herself. We did a big in-depth analysis on this, so definitely go check that out if you're interested. The second to last on our list is a Wyworm. This is a caterpillar that fell into a flow well hundreds of years ago. It kept growing until it's the size of a house. When you feel an earthquake, it's because one is going underneath you. This one, I knew immediately what it would be because I recently just did a podcast episode. It's not out yet, but we did a podcast episode on this. I have a podcast, by the way, on another entirely different platform. We cover true crime, cryptids, like anything spooky dooky we cover. But the real life counterpart to this is the Mongolian deathworm, known as the Olgi. By the way, I butcher things. I butcher names. I swear to God, I know how to read. Known as Olgi Korhoki. I'm going to put it across the screen, but I'm going to call it Nobi Kenobi. The force is strong with this worm. But they are located in Mongolia. According to the local folklore, the Mongolian deathworm is said to inhabit the Gobi Desert and is described as a large red or orange worm-like creature. It is believed to have venomous breath and the ability to kill with an electric discharge. It shoots you with an electricity shot like a friggin' eel, and it gets you stunned, and it comes and it gobbles you up. So be careful if you're out in the Gobi Desert. Just watch where you step. The last that we have on our list is I'm leaving up to you guys to let me know in the comments down below. A doom crumbler. Eloisa says it'll befriend you, and as it's befriending you and acting all nice and kind, it will crumble you and kill you. So that's pretty negative. And there are, of course, other cryptids in this game. There could be some that I missed. In the comments down below, let me know what you think the real life doom crumbler would be. What is the real life counterpart to that? Or if I forgot a cryptid that's in Palia, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear where I made a mistake. Did I leave something important out? I would love to hear it. Or if you just want to let me know if you have a local cryptid in your town, I lay it on me. I love to hear it. I love cryptids so much. It's one of my favorite things to research. But that is the cryptids of Palia for right now. This might actually just be a part 1. If they're going to keep adding to the game, we're going to change a lot of the lore videos. We're going to go back. We're going to revisit these things. So this could be the Palia cryptids part 1. We don't know yet. And while you're down there commenting, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell if you haven't, so you know when I upload a video. But if you want to know the very moment that I upload a video, because I will annoy the shit out of you with pings, be sure to join the Discord. The Discord is an awesome place. Everyone gets along, but I am going to warn you, my mod, Brutal, is a bit of a dick, but he's my best friend, and I love him. And if you're seeing this video, there's a chance that I might be live right now on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/PerzivalGG. Every time I upload a video at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays and Saturdays, I go live at the exact same time. So if you want to discuss today's video, be sure to come on in. All right, we don't believe in strangers. We will have a conversation, and everyone is welcome. So hopefully I'll see you there. But other than that, that's the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.